it's very pleasing to me to know that the product that we've developed improves people's lives, right? There's people that have had surgery on their back, on their neck, or even on their knee, and or have been, combating sleep issues for the last 10 years or a small fraction of their life, or maybe a large fraction of their life, until they've purchased some of our products. And it's really empowering, and it drives the passion that I come to work with every day, knowing that what we do and the product that we put in people's hands is changing people's lives.
From AMP.io, it's How I DTC'd This, a show about the legends of e-commerce, the founders, marketers, agencies, and tech platforms on how they pulled it off and how you can too. Derek, thank you for being on here, man. Excited to chat with you.
Me as well, Matt. Thanks for having me. Excited.
Absolutely, man. It's been fun to watch your success with Sleepgram, and I'm excited for the audience to hear how you DTC'd this. So to kick us off, let's just dive into how did you get into making pillows and how did you start Sleepgram in the first place?
Yeah, honestly, if you asked me 10 years ago if in 2023 I would be selling pillows, I would have put my life savings, which wasn't much at the time, on the under that I would not be selling pillows at this time. It's been a journey. I actually started in a more traditional corporate background, working for first job out of college was working at Apple, doing ops finance. I did a lot of support for products on the supply chain side, helping products like the iPad Pro, helping Apple with the Beats acquisition. Shortly after that, I wanted to get more into a traditional finance background. So I took a job at a brokerage firm in San Francisco. And a really close friend of mine, Leo, the other co-founder, my partner, had an awesome background in marketing, digital marketing. And we'd link up quite often. My office was a few blocks from his. We'd have lunch together. He would tell me how well the company was doing, but at the same time that he wasn't happy. They were driving traffic to third-party product sites. While I'm working till midnight, running a $280 million project portfolio, he's stressed about my job, not sleeping a ton. And those conversations end up developing into an idea of creating an e-com product company. We were both combating sleep issues. I had at the time a degenerative disc, and I still do. It's just I'm not in as much pain. Degenerative disc in my lower back, lumbar stenosis, all the back pains you could think of at an early age. And Leo had a trip out to Africa when he was in the affiliate marketing stint and couldn't sleep. It's one of the longest flights, I believe, across this world from California. And a pillow kept popping into his head. He's like, everyone needs a pillow. I'm on this plane and I can't sleep for crap. So,
nice.
Collectively with our sleep issues, we came up with the idea of creating a bedding company. And in 2017, we actually launched Sleepgram with a very traditional down feather pillow. And that was our first product. That was our one and only product. Shortly after, we offered an ancillary item, which were cotton pillowcases. But the down feather pillow honestly did pretty well in terms of profitability, but our customer feedback was quite poor, to be totally honest.
Interesting.
We found out 10% of the market was allergic to down feathers. We found out another 10% of our community thought the pillow was too soft. And then another 10% thought the pillow was too firm. So over the course of 6 months, we actually did, before the end of 2017, we did close to about a little over 4 million in sales off that pillow. But we were incredibly pleased with how the company was performing on paper, but the collective feedback that we got from the customers about the quality of our product was really concerning. We really started as a marketing company. I had a little experience going to market with product launches from my past experience at Apple. Leo and team were the marketing gurus, but we were really a marketing first company, not product first. And we kind of took a step back when we crawled into 2018, and we're like, we want to be a product first company, right? And at that point in time, even though we were doing well on paper, we really want to put the customer first, right? And not the dollars. So I spent quite a bit of time with our suppliers overseas. Got almost probably 2 months over the course of 6 months. We came up with 25 iterations of a down alternative adjustable pillow. And it's very similar to what we have today. We continue to make changes and new iterations to increase the quality of that product. But that's really what put us on the map. The down alternative, we were the first to come up with the down alternative adjustable pillow. And the design in itself sounds quite simple. It's two different inserts, adjustable to 3 different loft settings. So there's 2 inserts in the pillow, each of which is of different weight and size. If you leave just the blue insert in, that will allow the customer the lowest loft, the softest form of that pillow. If you just leave the red insert in, that would allow the customer a medium loft, recommended more for side sleepers or back sleepers. And then including both inserts would allow you the highest setting, and that's recommended for side sleepers of larger weight or height, longer neck like myself. So that's really that innovative push and pushing the components to a down alternative base that mimic kind of the quality of down feathers is really what exploded Sleepgram. And it's been a roller coaster since. I'm not saying anything has come easy since the inception or design creation. We've sold over 1 million of those units to date, and that's really what put us on the map. We've had features on Home Shopping Network. We've been on the local news and national news, and it's really given us the opportunity to put innovation first in each of those product verticals that we have. So to date, we have about 96 different SKUs, and it's been quite a journey from 2017.
I mean, congratulations. That's super impressive. Going back to the early days, that's always a super interesting time. I mean, you sort of dialed in this down pillow, and then we're experimenting with some things. What was it like even figuring out how do you make a down pillow? Like, how did you solve that?
Yeah, a lot of knowledge absorbed through sourcing, right? We still have our suppliers overseas, and we've tested domestic suppliers and opportunities, and we just have not been able to get our product to the same quality level that we've been able to attain with our overseas suppliers. And it's been a journey, right? When you're working with individuals or contract manufacturers that are across the world, on the other side of the world, you're working in different time zones. There's also a language barrier. And there's also, like you said, no knowledge of creating a pillow except for your experience. I think it was helpful in a sense that I'm a very finicky sleeper. I'm incredibly sensitive. I'm one of those people that if I go camping, I'm bringing the blow up bed. I have to be glamping or I won't sleep a wink. So my neck has to be in the perfect alignment while I sleep, or I'll wake up with a back or neck pain. So I think really just it was collectively taking all of that community feedback and then being like, oh my God, you're totally right. I have the same experience. And when you're saying the same thing about your product that you're selling to people, it's not, even though you're like doing, I guess, on paper in terms of revenue and growth, you're not happy. You're not sleeping well at night. Once we came up with the Sleepgram adjustable pillow, we were all able to sleep well at night, pun intended. Like it's crazy. You can adjust it to the right setting, and the kind of industry standard for returns on bedding is around 20%, close to a little bit below that, and ours is around 5%. So, and we offer a 100-night free trial, which allows people to try that product. Once they receive it, they can try that product, sleep on it, adjust to it, find the right setting. And you may not be the first night. You might try one insert the first night, and you need to switch that out for the other, or put 2 in, etc. So we give people the opportunity. It's kind of an intimate experience. It's really cool. You get to like last night was pretty good, but I think I can improve it. So let's adjust this again. And it's really cool to hear people's feedback, but it's really been on personal preference, and we've been really open to our community. When we first started, I was responding to all the customer service emails and taking calls and stuff. And we really had our boots on the ground and doing the dirty work. And I think that experience allowed us to expedite the design process, if that makes sense.
That's awesome. Congratulations. When you look back, okay, so you're starting to make the down pillow, starting to innovate on the alternative down. At what point were you like, okay, this is really starting to take off, like this is working? What was that point?
Yeah, probably I believe it was, God, I remember March of 2018 is when we launched the down alternative pillow. And it was a scary moment, right? We still had inventory on hand of the old natural fiber, the natural component pillow, right? The down feather pillow. And we had to basically, over the course, those are very long hours in the office for sure. And lots of screaming, lots of crying, lots of hoorays, but lots of emotion swinging through our office at the time. And we, we were excited, absolutely, once we made the transition, but we had to basically take all of our assets. We had pictures, we had active campaigns on social media where we were advertising. We had to basically, and we'd offer pages that were marketing and educating people on this down pillow. And we had to basically, over the course of a week, sunset all of that and at the same time transition into this down alternative pillow, hoping that the results from a ROAS perspective were the same, right? Or better. And fortunately, they were great. The idea, something so different. People are creatures of habit, right? You buy what you at the end of the day. That's a safe bet. I mean, spending money is a difficult thing, right? The easiest thing is to buy something that you already know is solid, that you have experience with. So buying a Sleepgram adjustable pillow with 2 different inserts, new to market, never, really nothing else on the market like that, was a scary thing. And fortunately, it kind of took off. And it spread like wildfire, I think, because of our community and the feedback we got.
That's when you knew, you were like, all right, this is working.
Yeah. And we were randomly, never before, starting to get, outreach from queries from third-party companies, from retailers, or from networks for features of this pillow. And, it's definitely been our bread and butter. And we've kind of tackled and applied that same innovation to each of our other ancillary products that we've launched since. We want to be different, but at the same time, we don't want to deprive people of quality by just making something innovative that looks cool via advertisement. We want to make sure that product is truly superior to what is available to that individual on the market for the same price. And that's the approach we've taken. And we've done pretty good since. So.
Awesome. And what about the channels? I mean, back then, 2017 to now, what was the mix? Like, how are you driving traffic back then? How's that changed? Any kind of lessons learned about what you're doing to get the right people?
So we were so focused on growth and scale back then. I would say about 90% of our deployed daily advertising was on Facebook or Instagram. And to me, they're synonymous, right? They're both Meta, and the algorithms can decide whether to post on Instagram or Facebook. So that's where a lot of our money was deployed on a daily basis. Come 2019, end of 2019, we had the iOS 14 and a half. I'm sorry, that was the end of 2020. iOS 14 and a half rollout, where you would now be prompted, and you still are, when you download a new application on your phone, you're now prompted whether or not you want to share privacy with that individual. That rollout had a massive impact on our company, right? Because we kind of put all of our eggs in one basket. We were so focused on Facebook and the ROAS that we achieved there and everything was going well, right? We didn't think anything could go wrong until that happened. We kind of realized we were at the mercy of Facebook, the CPAs, the ROAS, the CPCs that we were achieving there. And everything kind of overnight, over the course of, to be honest, over 30 days, kind of just blew up. Their algorithms efficiency lost, I would say 30% of what they built over the last 3 to 4 years. And while their CPCs went up 50%. It was a tough time for digital advertising because the grand reopening was happening simultaneously. People were sick of being inside and spending money digitally, that they wanted to, near the end when stuff started to open, not near the end of the pandemic by any means, but at least when stores started to reopen and people could get outdoors and go to the mall and buy something in person or try something on, et cetera, or feel it or touch it. So all of that kind of happened to Sleepgram at once. We didn't have a retail presence at the time. Brick and mortar. We had a retail presence. It's all digital. And that changed our whole perspective on how we should approach this and how we should deploy budgeting and advertising. We couldn't, we ended up actually being stuck with a massive amount of inventory, driving a ton of overhead to our company, and it crippled us because we couldn't sell a product online in a profitable manner. So come 2021 was a huge learning experience for us. And we were really focused more so on nurturing our existing community and not so much just scaling and prospecting, top of funnel, I should say. We knew people were pleased with our products. They were coming back, but we weren't applying any type of budget to, educating those consumers or keeping them within our community outside of just providing them with great products. So we built out an amazing, we built out a great email marketing structure, a nurture series. We started to dabble at that time at the end of 2021 with SMS. That's what led us into Amped as well. That's the massive part of our nurture series. Some of those people visit our store. They're very pleased with our aesthetic, our storefront. They're interested because maybe they clicked on an ad about a particular product, but maybe they're not ready to spend $100 on, a set of pillows today. But they're interested in, on Sleepgram's educational content or maybe a future purchase. So we had none of this in place back in 2018. And if we did any of those facets or, channels that I talked about, if we had any of those in place, they were definitely kind of pushed to the side. They were definitely not our priority. Our priority was scaling, new customers, et cetera. So we've really kind of taken, I would say, a step forward in really focusing on our existing community now instead of just new customers, and providing with educational content. People can subscribe to be a part of the Sleepgram community without purchasing a product via a pop-up like Amped, right? And over time, maybe they receive an article or a blog post on 5 tips to how to sleep better, or, the best sleeping styles, or what to do or not to do before bed. And over time, they're like, wow, this is some really cool educational content. And Sleepgram is putting a lot of time into just providing awesome pieces to their community. I've actually applied some of these regimens to my sleeping structure, and it's worked great. I'm sure the product has to be halfway decent. So over time, those people come back and actually will buy a product and end up being quite pleased. So that's kind of we're more in a slow and steady approach now than we were back in 2020. In 2017, like I said, we did 4 million and we were able to achieve close to about 100% annual compounded annual growth through the end of 2020. But now we're really hyper focused on pleasing our existing community. Amazing customer service, awesome refund policies, getting the best product into people's hands, being delicate in the go-to-market process, being very attentive to detail and what is out there, what is bothering people, why are people getting the best of sleep right now, and putting that into the design and development process of new product. During the pandemic, we had a lot of people were concerned about, getting sick. We invented a product that's a Silvador infused cotton sheets, and these sheets truly repel 90% plus of bacteria. It's great for, washing sheets is expensive. Oftentimes when you wash sheets, you have to put them in the dryer 2-3 times just to get them fully dry, right? This will prevent you from wasting money on water or washing your sheets each week. It mitigates the smell, mitigates the bacteria buildup. And there's no really degradation to the quality of the product, the integrity of the product by at a nano level infusing these cotton sheets with silver that naturally repels bacteria. Another product is bamboo sheets. That's our second most sold item. People don't understand the integrity of bamboo is stronger and it's much more sustainable than cotton. There's some species of bamboo that grow 3 to 4 feet a day. And it also rests, more sleepers are hot sleepers than cool sleepers. It rests about 3 degrees cooler than cotton. So we've tried to be innovative in a sense with each of these products. We came up with the first adjustable kind of weighted blanket where one side has embossed pressure dots and the other side has a cooling bamboo side, keeps the consumer, cool and rested when they get home from work. So just little innovative spins kind of that we've applied to each of our products.
That's where we connected the most, I think, because we were talking about your products and Amped, and it was just a focus on just helping people more. And then I feel like the business would come. I've seen that through your story all the whole way through. It's like, I need a better way to do this. Like, I need to take care of people. So hats off to you and continuing to do that. So why Amped? I mean, why Amped?
Yeah, it honestly is a great fit for what, I previously talked about as our nurture series. We put everything, this was not taken care of correctly by Sleepgram. We put this off to the side and we worked with several pop-ups. It's not saying that we kind of neglected the idea of a pop-up for the beginning or since 2017. We've had them. We've worked with Attentive, Postscript, Klaviyo, Just Uno, and I think the highest across those four, and maybe even more, the highest subscribe rate we had for email and SMS, I think it was about maybe 10 to 6% respectively, email to SMS. And with Amp, we've been able to achieve almost close to double. I think we right now are about 18% on email and then maybe 14% SMS. Don't quote me on that, but I know it's a dramatic increase from, what we were able to achieve. When we actually first started working with you guys, I was blown away by the result. I didn't think it was real. I didn't think these results are that much better than our existing pop-up. And fortunately, it was just, there was a little bit of, an integration error at first between our team and Amp. And you guys did such, hats off to you on the white glove experience and getting that all figured out for us. Constantly when we work with other apps or plugins, or vendors, you send a query via email, you'll get an automated response. And every 24 hours, you just continue to get the same response back. You guys kind of just spearheaded the whole process, took the lead, and I was really impressed with that as well. But yeah, once that integration hiccup was done with, I saw the true data coming in, and it was reflective of what we were seeing within the platform. And I can tell you, we were blown away, and no going back. So AMP for life. I really appreciate what you guys have done, and I would stay focused on keeping that product the most competitive within the market.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate you saying that. That's awesome. And yeah, it's been fun working with you, and just excited to watch your success. That's really exciting.
Yeah. Helps with growth, helps our community. Like I said, getting just content out to our customers is so important, even if they haven't purchased a product, because as we continue, we have a great team that does a ton of research on just the sleep market in general, and just getting awesome content, educational content out to people about their sleep regimen or how to sleep. That's a third of their life, Matt. Like, you're spending a third of your life, or you should be spending a third of your life in bed. So people start to realize, once they receive emails with this awesome content, or SMS, with text with this awesome content, over time, they start to believe in the Sleepgram community and what we have to say. And that's so important. I think the more people we can get into that pipeline and into our community where we can send them educational content, the better. Whether or not they purchase product from that, like, we want, what drives us, that drives our team, is improving people's sleep, improving their, their process, improving their regimen. So that's what drives passion for us, and that's what we need to keep this thing going.
On that mix, I know you talked about influencers, like, has that become a big part of it? Has it not done what you wanted to do? Tell me about the influencer strategy.
Yeah. So we are a bootstrap company. We do not have any outside investing, and we've intentionally kept it that way. Fortunately, we've been cash flow positive to be in this situation. And because of that, we are a performance-driven company. We have to be very conscious of how we deploy money and how we deploy advertising dollars, or marketing dollars, I should say. And influencers have been tough, right? We are not aware of how that process should have worked when we started deploying dollars towards that facet of marketing. And I think we took the wrong approach initially. A lot of managers reach out to us and say, hey, my individual that has 200,000 followers will post one story or one 30-second video, or just a picture of your product for thousands of dollars. And we kind of ran with that for a bit. We tried that, didn't see any type of performance, like actual performance. And we'd keep going back to these individuals, and they say, it's more about the brand, and you're not necessarily going to see any sales from these campaigns that we're driving, but over time, you're getting your brand out there. And so we're like, okay, this is almost like, we couldn't afford just brand development via, it was almost like just dollars just poofing in air from us, right? From a CRM or from a data perspective, we weren't seeing any sales coming through. So we've definitely taken a different approach. And actually, we have a big campaign currently running where we're going to send seed product to a bunch of micro influencers. And these people, we want to take a different approach where they're people that want our product. It's not people that we're paying to. So we only do influencing on a gifting basis now. And that's truly because we want people to be passionate about the post that they drive. And I will absolutely keep you updated on how it goes. But this is definitely a very different approach. I feel like when you spend dollars and you give people kind of an outline of what they need to do with that particular influencing campaign, it's just, there's no passion, there's no drive. But if you give people products with no agreement for them to actually post about the product, and they come back with an exceptional experience, that's passion, right? They're voluntarily posting about the product, and we're so confident in our product. This is the approach we want to take. So I'll keep you updated on how this goes.
I can't wait to hear how it does go. That's awesome. Kind of a fun question. What do you love about what you're doing right now?
Yeah. So the first thing I do every day when I wake up is read customer feedback. I'm not necessarily, we have a customer support team, a quite large team now, but I'm not necessarily replying to all of these customers' emails or reviews, but that's the first thing I do every day. And it's very pleasing to me to know that the product that we've developed improves people's lives, right? There's people that have had surgery on their back, on their neck, or even on their knee, and or have been, combating sleep issues for the last 10 years or a small fraction of their life, or maybe a large fraction of their life until they've purchased some of our products. And it's really empowering, and it drives the passion that I come to work with every day, knowing that what we do and the product that we put in people's hands is changing people's lives. And it sounds crazy. You go, Derek, you're just selling bedding products, but you'd be shocked how many people up until purchasing a Sleepgram product have been spending a third of their life on something that is preventing them from living. You wake up the next day with just 5 hours of sleep where you've been tossing and turning all night. You're not the same person. I mean, I can speak for myself. I'm truly a walking zombie. I might have 2 cups of coffee that day versus a half a cup. It's just to get through it. And my efficiency is, God, I mean, it's subpar, and that's being kind.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a 2-year-old at home, so I know all about this.
We'll make a special pillow for the 8-year-old Matt.
Oh, yeah. So, all right, but you're conscious of where peak performance is, and one thing I think all entrepreneurs is like dialing it in, figuring it out. Like, this isn't easy to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
How have you been able to find that flow and optimize where you're going to see it clearly, like certain daily schedules, different systems, like personally, professionally, in the business? Like, what are you doing to get to this level of performance?
Sure. Yeah, it's so ambiguous. And that's the cool thing about being an entrepreneur, and kind of, there's no outline, right? We're not giving kind of a guide as to what we need to do. There's no directive, right? Every day we're kind of in this room when it's white space, and you just have to figure it out. And that's exciting. You're wearing 12 different hats a day, working in, departments or dealing with stuff that you never thought you would. So you're soaking up a ton of knowledge, and collectively, as a co-founder, you can kind of see where we're headed, right? Based on feedback, based on sales, based on certain, advertising campaigns that we're running. And, a lot of it does go back to customer feedback, and then ultimately, our performance, what we're seeing on paper in terms of finances. We have tested probably about, I would say, 1,000 different offer pages since we've started. 1,000 plus, honestly. That's since we've started Sleepgram, across maybe 15 different advertising platforms. Taboola, Outbrain, Yahoo, Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, Walmart, Target. You've got TikTok, and the list goes on and on, right? There's so many different places from a digital perspective of where you can grasp and deploy dollars. And I can't tell you we figured it out by any means. It's still an ongoing battle. And that's the fun in this, right? I think that avoids you finding that complacent daily routine, because every day there's a different fire to put out. Every day there's a different opportunity. There's another stone to unturn. And that's where we're at. But I can tell you today, Leo and myself talk about this quite often, that we are so much stronger today than we were a year ago. And I think a lot of that is putting focus on our existing customer base, and which sounds nuts, and a lot of entrepreneurs would be mad at this, but less on just scaling, less on growth. Growth can happen internally, right, with customer feedback, and that's really been our big focus over the last 12 months, is pleasing the customers that have come back and created what we have today.
Love it. And for you personally, I mean, what are you doing to keep sharpen the sword?
Yeah, I just try to, it's really hard to not, when you're not working, to not think about work.
Yeah.
I would be lying if I said I can check out entirely when I check out of the office, but it's hard. But, in my free time, I love to be outdoors. Love to be on the beach. I love to surf. I love to be, on the lake, on the boat. I love to golf. Unfortunately, the Sleepgram pillow and some of the products we have helped with my back pain, so I can golf a little bit more than I used to. Come wintertime, I like to snowboard. So I definitely like to be outdoors when I'm not in the office.
Yeah, get that clarity, kind of step away. But I hear you. It's hard to not even be quite literally on a surfboard thinking about it.
Sure.
Until you catch the wave. Then when you're on the wave.
Exactly.
It's about the only moment.
Between sets, you're definitely thinking about work.
Yeah.
And then a couple seconds that you're on the wave, maybe you forget about it. But, you have a kid, so I'm sure that helps with you tremendously. Every time you see that 2-year-old, that probably everything's lost in that moment. So, maybe I need to get myself a kid.
There you go. Get you on. It's awesome, man. I highly recommend it. For you and looking forward, Sleepgram, tons of SKUs, tons of success, millions and millions of these things sold. Where to from here? What do you want to do next with Sleepgram?
Yeah, our focus really is, I would say about between 60 to 75% of our top line is allocated to our pillow, to our hero product, right? And we want to expand that. We want to, or lower that, and expand the retail or the revenue streams coming from some of these other products, these ancillary items. And I shouldn't even call them ancillary items. We have such awesome Hero 2 or Hero 3. Our bamboo sheets have done great. Those have done amazing. We definitely want to focus more on linens, and maybe in due time expand into the bath area as well. Towels, bath mats, robes, etc. So there's a huge opportunity for us within the bedroom still. We want to definitely expand our designs and color opportunities that we offer within each product kind of category. We have 7 different colors right now for sheets. That sounds like a lot, but you look at a company like Brooklyn and what they've done such a good job of they have 2,000 different SKUs for one product. It's just, every different design you could possibly imagine for sheets. I don't think we'll go that far, but in terms of design, in terms of expanding certain product categories by design, but we definitely want to make a mark there and definitely make some movement, shake up the scene a bit by expanding our products into other categories for sure.
And what about the tech stack? Tell me about the tech stack. Like, what have you found to be most helpful?
Yeah. So we have a quite dynamic structure where our top of funnel, our advertising goes through different offer pages than where our homepage, sleepgram.com, is hosted. Sleepgram.com is hosted on Shopify. Shopify is great. There's limitations to what you can do on checkout, post checkout, like upsell path. And there's just a lot less customization, right? But no knock on Shopify. They've been wonderful, but that's where sleepgram.com is currently hosted. If you were to click on an ad with us via, through Facebook or Instagram, you're likely not going to sleepgram.com. You're going to shop.sleepgram.com or buysleepgram.com, etc. So we have a very dynamic kind of structure in that we leverage more custom CRMs for our prospecting, and then we pull our recurring community back to shopify.com. And, with our focus more so on a recurring existing community, we put a lot more time into our Shopify storefront by adding, focusing more on conversion rate there, and, adding processes, speeding up the website, adding awesome applications like Amped to help with our recurring and help our community grow. Focusing more time and attention to our checkout. I know there's limitations there, but and yeah, I mean, we really our future outlook, what we want to do more so of is retail. We want to get more into retail outlets, whether that's physical at a brick and mortar or digitally. We want to expand those relationships as much as we can. So that's going to be our focus, along with expanding our product line over the course of the next 12 months.
Love it. It's exciting. Okay, Derek, anything else that you want to share with us that you learned? Any other just like lessons learned to other entrepreneurs, whether they're just getting started or they've got a few folks or even a big team like yours? I mean, what do you, any other lessons you want to share?
Yeah, I would tell you, there's going to be many times where you feel like all is lost. And, we've had many of those nights or mornings or days where, our website's been hacked, or whether some tech failure has occurred that's sent our website into no man's land, or we've gotten some negative feedback on a product that we launched right when we started the company. I would say just stay positive. You have to look at the silver lining, right? And in moments like that, you go back to what you've achieved and celebrate the small wins. It's going to be a journey. And part of what we do and why we do this is there's fun in this. We're helping people. We're changing people's lives. We're improving their sleep. So I would just say continue to enjoy the small wins. It's going to be fuel to the fire, and it's going to help you through the dark times. If you're not failing, you're not pushing the envelope, and you're not, I would say, if you fail and you're going to, as an entrepreneur, fall forward, learn from your mistake and move on. And that's what we continue to do. We try to be dynamic. We try to be a sponge on a daily basis, holistically as a group, and continue with that mentality constantly.
Keep going. You got this.
I love it. Yeah.
Love it. Derek, it's an exciting journey, man. Congratulations on the success. I look forward to keep watching. I'm curious to hear how the influencer thing goes, but man, it's been fun working with you so far, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you, Matt. It's been a pleasure, man.
All right, Derek. Thanks.
Bye.